Feliz Navidad.
All right, here's another ass shot to start off the podcast.
I'm like shoving my little nicotine pouch in here. But, you know.
All right, guys, we are back with The Art of Chaos. Hopefully by the time you're listening to this, the world hasn't crumbled.
Yeah. I mean, it could.
We're getting there.
I mean, like, I can't tell if it's, like, how bad it is because everyone's, like, disagreeing. Everyone's, like, people are like, no, this is, like, a pandemic. This is, like, bad. And then, like, the other half of people are like, no, it's, like, a hoax. And I'm like, okay, I get that this is, like, all politically driven and shit, but, like, I still, like, when do I freak out?
It's the fact that there's no one in charge going, guys, this is what's happening.
Right.
The fact that, and without getting political, the fact that the president said, no, this is chill, and immediately, 30 seconds later, a highly appointed doctor went, no, this is not chill.
No, didn't he called it a hoax,
yeah.
right?
He said it's a simple flu.
Obviously, it's not a hoax. Like, people are, like, have died from it.
And again, this is purely facts and speculations. This is not politically driven. We're not trying to cause any divide because we know we already have. So we're just kind of like, hey, this sucks. Let's make the best of it.
Speaking of,
hold on. Today's podcast is brought to you by
Coronavirus, yes. Thank you, Coronavirus, for, I don't know.
Giving us a topic to talk about.
I was hoping that I had, like, some funny one-liner, like, little, like, but I didn't.
We're all gonna die.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it's so weird. I felt like I could barely hear myself, but I think it's because I'm just, like, kind of congested, so full disclosure, I don't have coronavirus. Actually, I guess I could. We don't know because they weren't testing people when I went to the doctor, but no, I actually had bronchitis. I had the flu and then bronchitis. But after 3 weeks of being so sick, I finally went to the doctor, and I've been on antibiotics now for like a week. So
you're quote unquote chilling.
Yeah, so I'm not contagious, and like everything's I think good.
Hopefully, I mean,
but it was crazy. They didn't even when I went to the doctor, they didn't even ask me. Like I mentioned because I was like, and this was early on. This was like a couple weeks ago. So it was like seemed crazy to like go to the doctor and be like, "Do I have coronavirus?"
Yeah, because it was happening in like Italy. It was happening in like faraway lands.
Like no one in the States has it because we haven't tested for any. But I was like, okay, I feel crazy going to ask. Spencer was like freaking out about it. He's like, go in and go to the doctor. You need to go to the doctor. And I was like, dude, it's fine. Like it's just a cold. And then after like 3 weeks, I was like, okay, I'm sick as hell. Like I have to go to the doctor. So I went in and I mentioned that I like flew through LAX. I was like, oh, I was out of the country because he was like, oh, why'd you wait so long to go to the doctor? And I was like, oh, well, like I was out of the country and, blah, blah. And like the man didn't even ask me if
nothing.
Where I went. Like, I literally could have come back, like, straight from fucking, like, China.
Wuhan,
Straight from Wuhan. And maybe I'm just someone who's, like, not on social media, and I don't know that this is, like, maybe I don't watch the news. Maybe I just, like, dance through life, and I have no idea this is a thing. And then they're, like, don't even ask me, like, where did you go? So I was, like, then I felt extra dumb. Like, I wasn't going to ask, So I was, like, okay. So they're like, oh, you have bronchitis, and they gave me antibiotics or whatever. And so, obviously, they worked. So I think I was probably fine, but it was just wild to me that they didn't even, like, ask.
Yeah, because, I mean, I texted you last week. I was like, hey. Yeah, you're fine.
I think it's like my headphones are, like, low, but I can hear my voice talking. It sounds like it's, like, an out-of-body experience.
Oh, so you're hearing your voice outside of the headphones.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's in there, too, but it's, like, both. It's, like, just weird.
So I was, we were joking around, our touring crew, that if me or our touring crew had gotten coronavirus, we were literally single-handedly going to take down the world. Because close to 2 weeks ago, we were in all over Europe, and then we flew home. I went vintage shopping at Melrose Marketplace, tried on probably, I don't know, maybe 100 different articles of clothing, fresh from Europe. And then went and explored LA for 2 or 3 days because I was off. And then went to Okeechobee, went to Walt Disney World, and now I'm back in LA.
You told me you were self-quarantined. Oh, well, that was our dryer.
We do like 2 or 3 days. 2 or 3 days I've been self-quarantined.
No, he was coming over today, and I was like, hey, just like everyone's a little on edge, so like, Spencer just wanted to make sure you washed your hands a bunch. And he was like, oh, I've been self-quarantining.
Yeah, I've been self-quarantining for 4 days.
For 4 days? But you were in Europe and Disneyland before that. I mean, like, at that point...
Disney World, right? Get the right one.
Oh, you went to Disney World.
Well, Disney World.
How was it? Did you go to Epcot?
Yeah. No, actually didn't. So we actually, we landed and my artist had to pull out of the festival that I was with. So we had the day off. Our touring crew was stranded and we got hooked up with free tickets. We got little park hoppers and we bounced around. But we did Hollywood Studios. We did... what's that? Animal Kingdom. And what was the other one?
I don't know if I've ever been to Animal Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom.
I think I've been, yeah. Okay, I think I've been to all the little parks there. We used to mainly, because I used to dance at Epcot as a kid. Because I did Scottish dancing. I don't know if everyone knows that, but I was really fucking good. But anyway, Scottish dancing is not like Irish dancing. Let me just preface that because that's the first question.
That was the first burning question on my mind.
It must be because they're like in the same little island, or not really. They're not the same island.
Near territories. The territories are near each other.
Don't listen to me talk about fucking.
If you're listening to this podcast,
geography.
You're not coming to us for geography. Even though I do know all my 50 states and capitals. If coronavirus corners me and goes, do you know your 50 capitals? Your boy's got it.
Really, all of them? I feel like I used to know them all, but I don't think I could recall them all.
If you don't press me, I will say yes.
I mean, I wouldn't even know to correct you if you're wrong. You can
Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California.
But that doesn't give you the capitals.
I may or may not know the capitals of the states.
Anyway. Scottish dancing is not like Irish dancing at all, and it's actually very offensive to Scottish people when you ask that, because the Scots and the Irish have kind of like a history of like, you know, some stuff.
They got beef.
Yeah, they got some beef, and I mean, obviously it's like not anything that's like important that we care about now, but you know, historically, and actually in Scottish dancing, there's actually a dance. I don't know if I ever even told you this.
Is it the river dance, or am I being...
No, that's Irish. That's Irish dancing. Okay. Irish dancing is like river dance. Okay. But in Scottish dancing, we have a dance called the Irish jig, and it's literally making fun of
the river dance.
Like angry Irish people. It's actually incredibly like
so it's the Scottish jig makes fun of Irish people.
Yeah, and there might be like some problem. Like I mean, I don't know. I guess like they've all like been oppressed by like England and they're all white. So
I was gonna say we're fine.
Yeah, but I was like, oh, it might be like, you know, it's like, I think, and it's more poking and good fun. It's not like, you know, but it's just like, I guess there was this kind of like stereotype of like Irish. And so they have like an entire dance that's like, it's called the Irish jig, but it's Scottish dancing, but it's like you're dressed in like,
because I've heard of the Irish jig. I've heard of it.
Well, there's an Irish jig, like, in general, like, that's, like, a thing, but in Scottish dancing, it has, like, a specific meaning of, like, a certain dance.
So white people do know how to dance, then?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, I mean, if you consider, like, dancing in, like, a wool kilt dancing.
Kilts are fire. I've actually always wanted a kilt.
Oh my god.
Like, I'm a big St. Patrick's Day promoter, which unfortunately we won't be celebrating this year. But I've wanted to do the whole thing, like, literally in a kilt, just roaming the city. Just getting drunk.
That is a great idea. I fully support that. Actually, I might still... we might have sold my kilt. Those things are expensive.
I mean, you're tiny, too. I don't think your kilt's
my family has... we have a tartan.
Okay.
Well, you can, like, adjust it, probably. We have a tartan. We should get kilts made. I'm fully down for that.
What's a tartan?
It's the plaid pattern.
Okay.
So like back.
Oh,
in,
so
like,
your
back
family
in the day,
has its signature.
I'm like extremely Scottish and Welsh.
The cruises. The cruises have their tartan.
But they basically. So my tartan is actually the McGregor tartan. That's like what my family is like
descendant
part of. Yeah. Okay. And so that's like I have my kilt when I was dancing like made. Like in this tartan, like once I was really good in the beginning, like because when you first start dancing, you kind of like usually buy like hand-me-downs from girls. They're like, you know, they're like growing because everyone's like kids, so everyone's like growing stuff. So you like buy kind of.
So is there a generic pattern that everyone shares, and then you get your custom one?
There's all different ones. So because there's all these different.
White culture is crazy, man. You'd be surprised, man. They got some.
Yeah, hey,
they got some.
We got a little culture. We got some plaids. We don't like spicy food, but
you got your plaids. Do you at least have a cool plaid though? Is it a
Yeah,
short plaid?
I liked it a lot because I
Okay.
was like worried that like maybe because I wouldn't have to dance in like my family.
I really have to touch my face, and I'm gonna get comments about coronavirus. But
Yeah, it's okay.
I
He
washed my
washed his hands before, but just letting everyone know. No, but once I was actually like really good and I was like going to nationals and stuff, that's like when we got like actual like something made for me, like fitted and everything, like seamstress
okay.
made it because it's like it's crazy actually. Like this is so not on topic of our podcast, but I feel like it's interesting and people will be like, "What the fuck?" Because like you dance in like the traditional kind of like garb or whatever,
Yeah.
and so you wear a kilt and you wear basically it's like a velvet jacket that's like, and when you're younger, I think you can wear it when you're older, but like no one does it because it's like not cool, but like you have like kind of a velvet vest with like kind of puffy sleeves, and for like the more, but then like once you're dancing in like championship type stuff, so it's like, sorry, let me get my thoughts. You have 4 main dances that are like for championships, and for that you wear a specific outfit. It's like a kilt, wool socks that come up to your knees, and a fucking velvet jacket that's long sleeved.
Okay.
So imagine our regionals were in Savannah, Georgia in
the
May,
summer. Yeah, no.
in late May.
No.
And you just have, and these are very like, and it's outside. This is the Highland Games. Because like, so you have some dance.
Just FYI, you said Highland Games like I know. It's like.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh, now I have to like take you to one. I don't know if there's any in California, but okay. Highland Games are like, it's not
like
just
a white
dance.
people Super Bowl.
No, it's like it's a Scottish thing. Okay, it's like you go there. It's like basically they will have a dance competition. I keep hitting this thing. They have a dance competition. They have the people throwing the logs.
Okay, yeah. So literally a Facebook white people video.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm being very derogatory of your.
So you can be you. I personally from the people I've seen on
I feel like
Facebook,
are they chopping logs? They're throwing logs.
Yeah, like throwing shit, like they literally this huge. It'll be like a tree trunk that you gotta like.
So the man your man wants to be. The man your man wants to be.
In like kilts. Yeah, it's actually probably, I think when I was going to these, I was a kid, so I was not appreciating like that there was like
parents
some
are probably
sweaty
getting
man
drunk
in like
too.
a skirt like throwing a log.
The parents are getting wasted. Like it's probably just an excuse to take the kids out and the parents to get
for
drunk.
most people. But if you're a dancer, obviously it's like your life. So like obviously our whole thing was like, you know, but it was crazy. People would be like overheating, like girls would be getting like rushed to the hospital because they'd be like, you're wearing like full on leather and velvet, covering your whole body, dancing in the like hot sun. Aerobically, because like Irish dancing, and I don't mean to hate if you're an Irish dancer, fully support that, but it's a little different. Like Irish dancing, this is what I always tell people. Irish dancing, everything's turned in. Your knees go like this, right? But like Scottish dancing is like ballet. Everything's turned out, and you're always on your toes the whole time.
So it's a very exhausting.
Yeah, you're like sweating, and like the individual dances, of course, are like only, you know, a few minutes long. But if you're doing those back to back, and then in between, you're still sitting outside, and you're just like
it's not
completely.
It's not for the weak.
Yeah, it's not for the weak.
Okay,
it's not.
Okay, so
I don't know what the point of that was.
Yeah, where were we going with this? This was like, we just went gung-ho.
I don't know, I feel like that's like something that's interesting because like people always like, even though it's like so dumb, like because I like don't really like talk about it, but it was honestly something that like shaped so much of my life. Like as a child, like literally I started doing it when I was like maybe 3 or 4 years old. I did it till I was about 13. I went to nationals 3 times.
Okay.
We went to Scotland and competed there. Like, you know, it was like literally my entire, not just my life, like my family's life. Like my poor little sister got dragged around.
Oh man! So it's like in California, like being in a baseball family, or like like you know, like you go to tournaments, you get
every
to travel,
weekend. Yeah, every weekend we're traveling somewhere. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And everyone has their like different things that their like family did. And I think, but for most people, it's like a baseball family. It's like the whole family's involved. But this was like literally just like my competitions, like going. And my poor little sister, she danced for a while, but it wasn't really her thing, and she was always just like, ugh,
because I mean, I grew up here in Southern California. Like for us, apparently, it's like some crazy percentage of baseball players come from here because since we have good weather year round, people can play year round. So it's like it wasn't uncommon to see like, oh, like so and so's not in town because they're at some baseball tournament,
right,
in middle of December.
Right.
Like they'd just be out and playing. It was just a thing.
Because
because it's you can do it out here.
Right.
So that's why I'm like, okay, so on the East Coast you guys had.
Well, I mean, I think they have it on the West Coast as well. It's all over the States.
Okay.
I think it's just that, like, probably the East Coast is, like, where a lot of, like, I mean, that's where I grew up, so that's my experience.
It's also a very culturally relevant activity.
Yeah, well, we had nationals one year was in Colorado. The year before I went the first time was, I think, in Washington. So there's definitely, like, Canada is a poppin' place. Like, whenever we do championships and the girls from Canada come, because usually you're competing against girls that are in the States. Okay. And you know everyone. You know everyone who's the best.
Yeah, you're like, like so-and-so from Idaho fucking kills it.
Because our nationals were only girls from the States. So that's who you really want to compete against. But then you would have, like, other championships that were, like, open to people from other countries. And, like, the Canadian girls, it would be like, everyone would be like, oh, fuck, like, this bitch is here. Like, yeah, like, they were, like, so good. Like,
would you guys have magazines, though? Would you guys have magazines? Like,
no, I don't, because
then they'd feature, like, some...
Yeah,
Susie McCartney from Ottawa is participating this year.
It was Ontario. That's where all the girls were, like, fire from. And they'd be like, fuck. Like, you might be winning first place in every competition. And then there's certain competitions that all the Canadians would come down to because they're big championships. Because they have money on them and stuff. So, like, obviously people, like, come down for those.
Bet on them?
Not bet, but, you win cash prizes.
I was like, yo, I would
bought
bet.
my first pets. I paid for them with all my dance money. What a waste. So, I mean, loved my cat, to be sure. But, like, did I need to spend, like, my life savings on her? Like, absolutely not. But
you were also 11. Yeah, I was like, you're 11, 12. Your life savings were probably $47.
It was a little bit more than that, but it was not, like, it wouldn't have been life changing. But it's actually really cool, though. I would love to take you to one. It's, like, it's really cool. You have, like, there's one called, like, Grandfather Mountain. I think it's in North Carolina. And it's, like, obviously on a mountain, but it's like people camp out there. It's like a whole weekend thing. So people, like, it's like a festival. Like, there's music, there's like tons of, like, it's literally like going to like EDC, but instead of like DJs,
Scottish,
it's like instead of DJs, it's like people dancing and like throwing logs and kilts and shit.
Update: unfortunately, this year's will not be taking place because of coronavirus.
They announced that earlier today. Right?
Oh, did they actually?
Oh, you were the one who told me that.
What, Irish? Or Scottish
dancing? I thought you meant the Grandfather Mountain, or I thought you meant EDC wasn't happening.
Oh yeah, no, EDC as of right now is still gonna happen, but I was just making a quick joke.
Oh yeah,
this amazing cultural thing.
Happened.
I was like, well, sorry Carter, I don't keep up with Scottish.
I was like, wait, I gotta look this shit up. Oh my god.
Are you on the email list? Are you on you get the bulletins?
No. Wait, actually, I went to EDC only once.
Yeah.
And I left after 45 minutes.
For the record, I do remember telling you and Spencer the week before, hey, you have to leave the strip around 7 or 8. And you will be in a car for 2 hours. Just want to preface that.
The car ride was the best part of the whole fucking EDC experience.
Okay.
It was fun as shit. It was me, Spencer, Carly Gray, and we could not get an Uber to save our lives because obviously no one wants to do that.
Yeah.
So I called an Uber. I got in the car.
So just a quick little interruption, the little preface. So the Vegas Strip is about maybe 30 to 40 minutes with no traffic from the Speedway. So people stay on the Strip, then they drive. They either drive or Uber or something to the Strip. But you have close to 200,000 people nightly going to the Strip down a one-lane highway. So you're looking at about 2-3 hour drive.
Yeah, exactly. It was bad, but that was I just called an Uber. I got in the car and said, look, let's just turn off the app and I'll give you $250. Cash. Right now to drive us to EDC. Obviously, she was like, fuck yeah, that's dope. Like, it's going to be a long ride, but still, like, you're literally just sitting in the car with us.
Exactly.
Like, we're not, like, annoying or anything. Or, I don't know, maybe we were. But no, she was loving it. And it was so fun. We were, like, driving. She let us fucking drink in the car. Like, we're just, like, drinking. We're, like, the three of us having the best time in the car. And then you get close to EDC and, like, all the traffic just completely stops. Yeah. And we're, like... But it was so fun. It was so funny though. Like, Carly was like...
So this was what, 2016? 2015?
2017.
Oh, 2017.
17, I think.
Okay.
I think.
So a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was a couple years ago. Maybe 17 or 18. And I think 17 though. And and I had to pee so bad. And I had like this crazy fear of peeing in front of people. And it's not a mental thing. Like, I don't actually care, but when I sit down to pee, I like
your body just shuts down.
Yeah, I just like won't pee no matter how bad I have to pee. It sucks. So like I'm gonna have to pee so bad in this fucking car, and Carly is like, oh, do you want to like? She's like, let's just get out because we're literally standstill traffic. Like no one's moving.
And you're seeing the speedway right there.
Yeah, she's like, let's just get out and pee on the side of the road right here, and I'm like, dude, I can't do that. There's so many cars. Like everyone's gonna see us because there's like a fence, so there's nowhere to really go behind to like hide. I was like, dude, everyone's gonna see us pee. I'm gonna freak the fuck out. And she's like, dude, just do it. Stop being a little fucking bitch. Like, you know, it convinces me to do it. We get out. We pee on the side of the road. And, like, a week later, like, people are, like, hitting me up and being like, was that you and Carly Gray I saw peeing on the side of the highway?
Fuck. Were you guys actually...
People literally, like, that we knew saw us. I was like, oh, my fucking God.
Oh,
like,
man.
This is exactly why I was afraid. But it did come out. I was, like, drunk enough. Like, but when we got in there, it was just, like, I don't know, like, Spencer didn't have VIP, so we, like, went into, everyone we were with had VIP, so we walked into the section, but Spencer's so fucking tall, so, like, we kind of snuck him in, like, just walked really fast with, like, a bunch of people, and then we're like, just go, 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 go. You know, it's, like, the one person with us that doesn't have it, and then, like, but they're, like, security's, like, on it, they're like,
there.
And then Spencer's so tall, he's, like, floating above everyone, so they can, like, easily find him.
Like, you tall man.
Yeah, and they, like, came up, and they're like, all right, so then we were like, shit, so we got kicked out of VIP, so we're like, all right, just walk around. I walked, like, 3 different stages, and I heard the same song at, like, multiple stages, and I was like, I have to get the fuck out of here. Like, I started panicking. I was like, oh my God, like, what's happening? Like, I heard the same song, like, 3 times, so I was like, I need to leave, and Spencer's like, I'm down, and we literally went and got on a fucking, like, bus and went straight home, sold our tickets for the next day on Twitter, and just, like, instead of going to EDC, went to, like, a massive dinner.
Wow.
I had the best Caesar salad I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, what was it? Yeah, what was it?
I don't know.
I remember you were talking about that Caesar salad for like a week.
It was the first Caesar salad I ever had.
You're like, yo, you're gung-ho on it.
Because it was the first one I ever had, and it was so good. And I was like, I didn't know I liked this shit.
Okay, so I mean, living on the road, living out of hotel rooms, a lot of the times we're just living off of room service. And one of my big complaints about the room service is a majority of the time, Caesar salads are literally lettuce, stems, and croutons. That's all
and
it
cheese.
is. And cheese. Give me a sprinkling of cheese. Give me the heart of a lettuce. Don't give me no stems. Don't give me no brown
it's
nasty
romaine.
stem.
That's why the kale, when you see kale Caesar.
Oh, that's the move?
Yes.
I mean, kale stems suck too.
Well, no, but they don't use this because kale is so shitty that they have to put the dressing on it to really, like, soften it up.
Okay.
You know? And then, like,
I heard you're
greens.
supposed to beat your kale.
Yes. This is, and PSA to everyone, like, I tell everyone this, if you don't like kale, it's because you haven't made it right. And the thing is, you have to massage it depends on the kale. Obviously, baby kale is different, but obviously that shit is trash. You got to get the real kale. And you got to make sure it's in small enough bites that it's not like a huge fucking leaf in your mouth. And you got to massage it with lemon and olive oil.
I've heard about this, but it just seems weird.
It is game changer.
Dude, give me some iceberg lettuce. Just toss it with some water.
Like, if you're eating iceberg lettuce with, like, ranch and cheese on top, you might as well just eat the ranch and cheese.
Let's go.
You might as well eat chicken wings because at least it has some goddamn protein.
Okay, I'm with it.
Yeah.
Say less. I'm with it. Say less. I'm just
saying that iceberg lettuce is trash.
Iceberg lettuce is so trash. But why do we still use it everywhere?
Because it makes everyone feel like they're eating something healthy when they're not. I'm telling you, any salad that's made with iceberg is trash. And, like, if you want to eat it because you like it, I support that.
Dude, okay, we are anti... No. We're going to take a stance. We're going to get political here. We are anti-iceberg lettuce. I'm anti all lettuce, but I'm specifically anti-iceberg lettuce.
It's literally water.
I'd be willing to stake our reputation on that. Our long 3 podcast reputation on this.
I honestly, let's see how much fiber this shit has in it. Iceberg lettuce.
Iceberg lettuce has fiber?
Barely, that's what I'm saying. That's the only thing.
I didn't even know lettuce had fiber. Come on, look at me. I live off chicken nuggets and pizza poppers. Come on.
Let's see. Iceberg lettuce. It has basically no nutrients. A leaf is 1 calorie. Oh, it has some potassium. I guess that's good. But Yeah, don't recommend. Kale is the way to go. And if you don't like it, it's because you need to massage it with a little oil, a little lemon, and it makes it so much more tender. And so that it absorbs everything. Okay. It's just fucking delicious. I love kale salads. When I was in Japan, it was like the only, like, I loved all the food there. I was obsessed with everything we ate. Like, I was so content there. The only thing I was like so like missing in my life was like kale salad. Yeah, they don't do kale there. So I came home and I was like, the first thing I wanted to eat when I came home was a fucking kale salad, which is crazy. Like, who craves a salad? But like, it just, something about it is just so nutrients.
Can't relate.
I'm gonna make you a kale salad. You're gonna like it.
Okay. So back to the story I was about to drop a couple seconds later. Is that recording? Yeah, it's recording. Let me double check it's recording. You want to set your alarm again?
Oh yeah, good call.
Yeah, it's recording. 25 minutes. All right, so the funniest thing I saw today on Twitter is, so obviously, the corona thing is getting a little serious, a little out of hand here and there, but the funniest thing I saw, and I'm sorry if you're listening, I love you to death, but your tweet was so funny. One of our friends, I'm not gonna name her, but she just put this tweet imploring. She's like, I can't find gluten-free pasta anywhere. And I was like, yo, that is the most like affluent, privileged complaint. We might not know society come next week, but you're out of gluten-free pasta.
That is, wait, is Amazon isn't sold out of that?
I don't know.
Surely not.
Just FYI, the coughs in the background are our friend Natalie. She just got checked. She does not have corona. Yeah. We're fine.
We've disinfected the entire house.
But it's on brand to leave the coughs in. So
yeah.
But yeah, so our friends.
We love you, Nat.
Yeah, so seeing our friends, like, the very privileged complaints come out.
You know, I saw someone saying they were like, oh, it's like they were mad that the rest of their semester was going to be online.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were like, oh, I didn't sign up to take online. Which, okay. And a lot of people are okay, two sides of this. She was saying, I didn't sign up to take online classes, and like, this is going to make my life more complicated. And of course, this girl is getting shit on because, you know, they're like, okay, people are like actually dying. Yeah. Like, people are actually like in Italy, people like can't leave their houses except to go to work. Like, you having to like finish your classes online, which are like obviously way easier depending on like your major. There's a few majors that I feel like could really mess you up. Yeah. But I think for like a lot of people, it's going to be like much easier. And so like, obviously she was getting a lot of shit, but I also, on the flip side of that I just thought about, kind of got to give her a little bit of, you know, of respect on this, because, you know, considering the cost of tuition, you're paying like, you could have just taken an online class for like a quarter of the price, but you're taking this in-person class for such a higher price, and then they're telling you to go home and just do it online. And I can understand her.
No, yeah, I get it. Like my favorite meme so far about it was the video of Soldier Boy, and it said the University of Phoenix be like, and it's like, he copied my verse bar for bar. It's like DeVry. Yo, everyone's just knocking off DeVry right now. Everyone's going online.
Isn't DeVry like shut down or something?
Oh, is it? Oh shit.
I don't know.
R.I.P. Yeah. R.I.P. DeVry.
I don't know. I know there was like some of those online
there were
for profit schools where there were some scandals with it. Yeah. Sorry if DeVry wasn't part of that. I don't know.
Yeah, sorry. We don't mean to tarnish your degree if you've received.
I don't have
it's more. Yeah, it's more than what we've got.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's probably the scariest thing right now. Like, both being freelancers and our job consisting of traveling. Like, that's what got me spooked. When my job is going places and doing stuff.
Sorry, the chair is like squeaking.
Oh, it's squeaking. Yeah. I'm gonna just lean up.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine. It's been like that the whole podcast, and I'm like, I hope nobody notices.
I can hear it so much.
But yeah, so our job is to travel the world and to be around people. Like, that's what scares me. The fact that I don't have a degree, because I thought it was gonna be cooler to travel the world and party.
Yeah, I know. As we all did when we were young and had energy.
All 3 years ago.
Yeah. No, I know. I think like everyone's kind of freaking out. I mean, I'm definitely freaking out. It's kind of like, I mean, I had like a show at the end of the month that's probably like not gonna happen. Most thing, like no one's really. Everyone's kind of like, oh, we're kind of seeing like what's gonna happen until we like book things and.
Yeah. Because dude, like it's like I was saying earlier, the spookiest thing is the fact that these shows are getting postponed for a month. what's gonna happen in a month? We're not miraculously gonna be saved.
Yeah, I doubt it.
They're gonna get repostponed. That's what scares me.
And yeah, you're right.
Like Coachella in December, that's scary.
Coachella in December, people would freeze.
Yo, Coachella in
Can we talk
October
about though? Coachella in October
isn't
might
it
be
lit? The best thing ever.
the best thing ever. I wasn't even gonna go this year, but then they postponed it to October.
You talking spooky parties? Spooky Coachella? Let's go!
Costumes
Dude.
at the festival.
Yo,
I'm
it's
here
gonna
for
be
it.
slutty costumes at slutty Coachella. It's gonna be slut fest for days.
I love it.
I'm here for it.
I
But
love it.
Also,
What are you gonna dress up as? You gotta think about it now.
oh,
We're almost 6 months out from
we're
that.
6 months out from Coachella.
7 months technically.
Yeah, but you gotta order on Amazon and
Well, Amazon's sold out of everything.
not of Halloween costumes.
I don't know, but you can't order a costume on Halloween. When I was in college, we would have Halloween was fucking every night for a week. It was
Yeah.
7 days. I don't know, on the East Coast, so at least in the Eastern South, I don't know about maybe it applies to the Northeastern, but my school got voted by Playboy best Halloween party. It was a huge
Oh,
party
yeah.
school. So in my states, UNC and ECU were the two biggest Halloween. So
Okay.
if you went to another school,
You'd go to
went
those.
to one
yeah,
of
you
those
would go
schools
because
for Halloween.
you had to. It was iconic.
So that was, and I never really did much on actual Halloween because it was a madhouse. I mean,
Yeah.
there's people everywhere, there's cops everywhere, and most of the time you're in college, you're underage, so
Yeah.
you don't want to be caught up in that. They would have barricades to get downtown, you have to go through, breathalyzers everywhere. I'm not about it. But leading up to Halloween or after it, depending on what day it fell, I mean, it would be a fucking week of just
usually
craziness.
it was the weekend before Halloween, especially if Halloween landed on a Monday. That weekend before is nutty.
Yeah.
That weekend before is insane.
And you had to have a different costume for every night. And I would always it was so fun because you're a broke college kid, but you got to have a fly outfit
Oh,
for
yeah.
6 different Halloween parties. So coming up with a way to have a cool semi-original costume that doesn't cost much for 6 different nights in a
Oh,
week
yeah.
is honestly
it's a challenge.
It's a challenge. Honestly, I think I took it for granted of that was probably getting my creative juices flowing. Maybe I need to do that now. Now I'm ugh, I'm not even gonna get a costume.
Yeah.
Maybe that's my age.
Maybe, yeah.
showing.
I mean, my favorite, so down here, Southern California, my favorite one was we would do the theme parties that were around dressing up around Halloween. So we would have Call of Booty. So everyone would just dress, it was just military one, Call of Booty, just dress up military-wise, was pretty easy. Then we would do an ABC party, an anything but clothes party.
Oh, yeah.
So you just newspaper, caution tape.
Caution tape, yeah.
The sluttier the better, even for guys. And then the other themed
Guys can be
ones.
slutty too.
Oh yeah, dude,
We
fucking
stand.
rock it. We stand slutty dudes. Do your thing, man.
Wear a little banana hammock.
Not my speed, but do you, man. Well, you ain't hurt nobody and it's consensual. Do your thing. But and then the other one was good. Was the risky business party.
Oh yeah, you
The
just wear
risky
button
business.
ups and
Yeah,
socks.
just a button up and socks. That or what was the other one? This one wouldn't slide anymore, but it was CEOs and corporate hoes.
Oh yeah, we did that once.
Yeah.
Or I didn't I went to some someone else's party that was
yeah, but we
CEOs.
would
Which you're right. That is so sexist. Now that I think about it, at the time you're in college, you're not really thinking about it that deeply. You're just oh, it's a fun excuse to wear a button up and some laundry, it's you don't think about it that hard. But now that you mention that,
dude, there's so many
because you're
things.
saying it's CEOs are the men and then corporate hoes are the
yeah.
chicks. That is really
it's
sexist.
fucked up. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It does sound good.
The
though.
indigenous one, it was cowboys and Navajos.
Oh, terrible.
Oh, dude, that would not fly. There was we did a Hispanic one.
I feel people. I'm glad though. Oh, wait, go ahead.
I was gonna say we did a Hispanic one, and I remember going up to my school board and going, "How is this racist if I'm the one doing it?" And then they're like, "Well, okay." And then there's a bunch of us Hispanics. They're like, "No, we're cool with this. This is fine." It was like
But
something.
it's still probably.
Oh, dude, so proud. It's just something. It was fuck. It was sombreros, sombreros, and no, it was cholos and sombreros.
Oh.
Yo, it was bad, but it was easy to dress up.
Well, also I think too. I'm glad that people that people who are in college now, I think seem a little bit more. I mean, I don't know because maybe they're not, but I feel people nowadays are like a little bit more like socially aware and like politically aware. So I think people now, even like the young, when I was in college, like no one was even fucking voting. You know, people weren't aware of these things, and so if it didn't affect you, it was just like it wasn't necessarily like coming from a place of like. It was just like insensitive, you know. But I think like if there was no like, it isn't like, I mean, a lot of these parties, it's not like any girls at my college were like the corporate hoes. Yeah, it's not like anyone was getting mad and they were like, screw you. Like no one was really mad about it. And I think because everyone was just like there to like, you know, everyone's there A, for an education, B, to like party and have a good time.
I thought we can reflect back on it. We can reflect and be like, oh yeah, that's not chill.
Right. Yeah.
But I would hate for like someone to lose their job over a CEOs and corporate hoes party. Like,
well, if they're gonna lose their job, then like I was a corporate hoe.
I wanted to be a corporate hoe.
I dressed up as a corporate hoe and I fully embraced that party. And now looking back, and I'd be like, this is kind of problematic. But at the time, it just seemed like a fun thing to like do. And I don't know, but that's good. Yeah, it's good. I think nowadays people are a little bit more like socially aware and like thinking about what these things entail, what they perpetuate, the ideas that they perpetuate, because it's not necessarily that you intended the party to be like a bad vibe, but it's just like you're literally saying that like the men are CEOs and the women are corporate hoes. Like, and a fun twist on that.
I was about to say, I was like, nowadays if we do one of those,
where the girls are the girls all dress up in like fucking like
power suits
and the guys wear I could get behind that. I could support that.
Because we were talking about bringing back some old drinking festivities. We were thinking, I mean, pre-coronavirus, we were thinking of doing the beer Olympics for your birthday.
Yeah.
That would have been crazy. I mean, I don't see anyone getting canceled over the beer Olympics.
Well, I actually wanted to do it for St. Patty's on Tuesday. Well, I guess this is actually going to come out on St. Patty's Day.
Okay.
But
Happy St. Patty's Day.
We're a little early for that, but yeah. Happy St. Patty's Day. I'm not wearing any fucking green because it's not actually St. Patty's, but for you it is. But I feel like I wanted to do like a small like beer Olympics thing here for St. Patty's, but I think everyone's just kind of freaked out about the coronavirus.
Dude, and it's like just seeing like it sucks, but like I know people that have still gone out, but they go out kind of cautious and bummed out. They're like, ooh, I don't know what I'm gonna get tonight. Like it's just weird.
Well, I mean, think about it. Like when you're out, like you aren't washing your fucking hands. Like I went out the other night and I shared a Juul with people. So update, I like quit smoking the Juul, but it was my first time drinking in a few weeks.
You had a hankering for it, you know. Like,
yeah, and it was like also the thing is everyone was like smoking in front of me. Like I feel like if I hadn't been in the room with it, I would have been fine, but then it was like, you know, everyone's just hitting it in front of me and I'm just like, fuck, I like want that. So like shared it with a few people. Like we all like were sharing Juuls and shit, and then like the next day, that was like then like things really started hitting the fan, and I was like, oh god, that was like we're all like eating cheese off the same plate and stuff. It was just like germ crazy, but like I wouldn't do that now. But at the time it seemed like I thought I was being crazy. Like I wanted to be like, oh, we probably shouldn't share Juuls, but everyone else seems so laissez-faire about it that I was like, oh, like fuck it, like I guess it's not a big deal, like coronavirus isn't happening,
dude, because shit literally hit the fan within a 90-minute span.
Yeah.
Within a 90-minute span, we went from LOL, these memes suck, to yo.
It's like when I was at yoga earlier today, literally every single person in the waiting room and Nat, your coughing is
coughing in the background.
I know. It's like it's literally the mics are picking it up so hard.
Guys, I'm serious. She doesn't have coronavirus. We are fine. She just has a normal flu and cold, or not flu, a cold. She literally came back from the doctor's today, so chill.
I mean, they didn't test her, so we don't know.
Whoa, they said she didn't show symptoms, though. She got very angry about it.
Like, I don't fucking have it. I don't know what the fuck I was saying. Oh, yeah, but no, I was at yoga, and, like, literally every single person in the waiting room and the locker room, it's all anyone was talking about. And it was, like, they were all talking about, like, going to Costco. I was like, good luck with that shit. Like, it's not gonna happen. Like, unless you're, like, determined. Because the thing is, even if you're determined enough to get the parking spot and brave the crowds, you don't even know if they're going to even have what you want. So, like, and then you got to wait. I feel like I wouldn't mind waiting in the line. Yeah. Once you already have your product, I can wait in the line if that's what I need to do. But, like, it takes hours to even find out if they even have it.
Dude, it's crazy. Like today, this morning, Disneyland announced that they were closing the first time since 9/11. And I was like, yo, I mean, creepy, like weird, but like not the end of the world. I thought it was the end of the world when an 11 in Miami announced that they were closing. And I was like, yo, the strip club nightclub that hasn't closed since the day it opened went, nah, this is too much.
Wow, that's crazy. I wonder
Yeah.
how that's gonna like impact like if there's other strip. I mean, because obviously 11's more than a strip club. It's
Yeah.
like a whole club. So maybe like individual like smaller strip clubs won't be as impacted. But I wonder if that's gonna be like.
I don't know. I think strip clubs will definitely be closed.
Because like that's crazy. Because usually sex work I think is something that like is kind of timeless. Like even like people might not always have as much money for it, but I think that like it's such a basic need that people have, whether it's going to watch someone dance or like, you know, whatever it is, like an escort, camming.
Yeah.
People like need it enough that even if like the economy's bad, I think like sex
It's
work
still,
still
yeah.
like kind of like carries through. But if you can't even like
Yeah.
for strippers, like that's like probably like most of their income.
Yeah.
It's like, how are you gonna?
I'm actually curious if anyone has any information on this. It'd be really interesting as like a case study to see how strip clubs reacted after 9/11. Like, was that a thing? Like, the strip clubs just like. Out of
Oh yeah, I don't know, because
shut
I guess we
down?
were like, I mean, I was 10.
Yeah, I was.
during
Yeah,
9/11,
I was 7.
so you were
Yeah,
So it was like, you know, you didn't understand.
but
any of the economic impact.
I'd definitely be curious to see how, because I feel that's the closest comparison where
Yeah.
major things are shutting down.
Right. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. I guess I was so like I was homeschooled during 9/11.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I went
So-
to school. Yeah, it was.
So I think if you were in school, you kind of had someone come in and talk to you.
Yeah.
It was a whole thing. I was homeschooled, so I was literally like, homeschooling was like very chill. Like obviously I did like work, but it wasn't like all day you're in class kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think I was like cleaning my room, and my mom was
Oh yeah,
downstairs.
because you're on the East Coast, so it was around like 9 or 10 a.m.
Yeah, and I was like just cleaning my room, and my mom like was like freaking out. She's like, "Oh my god!" I came downstairs. She's like, "Oh my god!" Like, you know, like, but I didn't really understand what that meant.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
remember like because we like so I was a no TV household growing up.
Okay.
That's how I turned out so fucking weird. I was homeschooled and didn't have a TV.
That's why you don't get a lot of pop culture
So I don't get
references.
any pop culture.
A lot of times me and
references.
Spencer have to be like, okay, wait, pause. The joke was funny. Carter, let's fill you in. So in 1998, Cartoon Network, and it's to that extent, but we fill it in.
I literally do not get a lot of things because I didn't see that, but where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so I remember we had this one little TV. It was like this big, you know, it was like so small that we bring on like when I go for my dance competitions,
Okay,
we
yeah.
put it in the car so we could watch movies and stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, of course, I had like my dad would always hide the antenna so
Oh,
that we
yeah,
couldn't
'cause
like
no
watch
signal,
TV.
yeah.
And like so they like brought out the antenna and so like watched some of that stuff on the news. So it wasn't like I was like unaware,
Sheltered, yeah.
but I just like didn't really get it. And I think because I wasn't in public school, I didn't. And being in this, like I wasn't like in the Northeast where people having like families impacted, so I didn't really know anyone. So I don't really know what the economic impacts.
See, like I
are.
remember. I mean, I'm not a dumb kid, so I remember my mom being very upfront with it, and she was like, "Hey," because I woke up and my mom was sleeping on my bedroom's floor, and she was just like, "Hey, just FYI, the United States were attacked." I was like, "Attacked? Like what the hell? Like what's going on?" And she goes, "There's enemies of the country that don't like the United States. They attacked buildings, and a lot of people are hurt." And I was like, "All right." Thanks, Mom. Thanks for leveling with me.
You're like 7
Me at
years old.
7,
You have
yeah.
no like comprehension of what that
I
means.
was like,
Isn't that weird now
Yeah.
to see like obviously they're two totally different things, but like whatever, like some kind of like crisis that like the country is facing, and like I think about the past ones that we've kind of gone through, even 2008 recession.
recession.
You know, like
Katrina,
I feel like I felt the impacts of the 2008 recession more just because I think my dad was kind of like, we downsized like after that, like shortly before that, because so we were kind of in a good spot because we sold our big house, we moved to a small townhouse, and you know my dad had already kind of like prepared for that. But I noticed in some instances, because they'd be like, oh, we're not going to go on the family vacation this year because like, you know, but it was like I wasn't like that impacted, you know, I think. And now it's interesting as an adult, you know, who pays for everything myself.
Yeah,
and suddenly-
having to react on it firsthand.
Right. Like, I mean, like every music thing is getting canceled.
And maybe I'm not going to Postmate sushi tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the most fucked up thing, like privilege. Like, yeah, obviously in like 2 months we're going to be hurting, but like right now that's literally our like, hey, maybe we'll just eat pasta instead of...
But no one has to be
No one in LA is gluten-free pasta!
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I don't know. We'll survive somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I bought my cauliflower pizzas yesterday.
No, I know. I tweeted something about it the other day of like how like, because it was like some Instagram post and it was like, which meal would you choose? And it was like, one was like a burger and shake and fries, and one was like a bunch of healthy stuff. But like, the healthy side was like all the branded stuff, all that shit costs like individually the same price.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it was like a creation juice.
Yeah, it's just like $12 fucking dollars.
Yeah,
I mean, this side's probably healthier, but this one's a fucking 10th of the price.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're not even talking half of the price.
Yeah.
We're talking literally a 10th of the price. So I was like, said something like, oh, this would be my whole food budget for the week.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, who am I kidding? Like, I don't have a fucking food budget.
Yeah.
Not because I'm rich by any means, but
Says
because I just, like, I need dopamine. I'm like, oh, today was bad. I should get a fucking lobster roll. Like, you know, and then I'm like, oh, I have no money. Why don't I have money? Maybe because you bought, like, a mad lobster rolls, bitch. Like, maybe that's...
I'm regretting... I mean, it was really good, but did we really need a $50 lobster roll a couple weeks ago?
Honestly, I think I did. I think I did.
You earned it.
It was like a hungover day. It was like sometimes you need to treat yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, not to get too much on the coronavirus, so I was like trying to get away from that a little bit.
Yeah, but now we're back, baby.
Even though everyone... And that's all anyone's talking about. Yeah. So it's like, we were talking about, like, we're like, it's weird to not talk about it on the podcast because, like...
It's affecting our lives.
And it's what we talked about for the hour before we started recording this.
Yeah.
Like, it's like... But getting back to the actual podcast stuff, I think... last week, or 2 weeks ago, whenever, we talked about crazy girls.
Yeah.
And then afterward, I was telling Gilbert, I was like, I feel like we need to balance it out. Like, because, I mean, obviously there's, like, crazy girls at parties, but, like, that seems very sexist to just focus on them.
There's equal amount of crazy dudes out there.
Yeah, so we want to talk about, like, crazy dudes a little bit. Right. And I don't know, I have something to share.
Yeah, if you're ready, I mean, I was...
Yeah, so you can kind of think about it. Yeah, I'm dropping it, so I feel like I should start it. We're gonna... So my thing that, like, it's crazy to me... And obviously, this isn't all men. We get it, blah, blah. But, like, it's kind of like this, like...
All men are trash, though. Hashtag
Hashtag. We put it at the bottom.
Hashtag
like
all
a little
men.
John all over shit. Right here. No, but it's, like, this kind of, like... I think it comes a lot from, like, toxic masculinity. But, like, when guys drink and they want to, like, fight, right?
Dude, never. I've never, like, understood that.
Well, that's why...
Because I'm a very passive person. Yeah. Like, I'm a very passive person. I get drunk, I'm like, yo, let's go home.
And I've never understood it. I, like, don't get the whole, like, thing of, like, why would you want to risk getting your teeth bashed in? Because, like, the majority of the time, like, okay, for instance, like, the guy I dated in college, so funny, because they would always have, like, fights. It was, like, he was in a frat. They would have, like, rival frats. And but it was all, like, no one was, like, really fighting. I mean, this shit was so weak. They'd be like, and then it was so, they always, like, hated having me around because the next day, they'd all be like, they'd be like, think that the fight was so epic.
And I'd be like, you guys yelled at each other from
it
opposite
was really
sides.
not that cool. And they'd be like, shut the fuck up. And I remember one night, the guy I was dating, so we, like, go home and we're, like, in bed, like, watching a movie, we're chilling. And so his, like, brothers hit him up and they're like, we're like, because their frat house was across from their, like, rival frat. And they're like, we're about to, like, have this fight with Pike and, like, we're going to fight them and blah, blah. And he was like, oh my God, like, I really don't want to go. Like, I, like, literally can't. Like, I'm so tired. I just want to stay in bed with you. I'm like, as you should. Good man. But also, I was not going to be, like, the fucking whack girlfriend.
Yeah,
that
no, that prevented his man.
Yeah, so I was like, I mean, like, if you need to go and, like, do whatever, like, I don't fucking care. Like, I'll be here. But obviously, like, I think it's better if you stay here. But, like, I'm not going to get mad about that. I get it. We're in college. Everyone's drunk. Like, no one was going to die in this situation. It wasn't dangerous. It was just, like, probably some dudes throw a few punches and, like, get over it. It's fine. If that's what you need to do to, like, settle your differences, go for it. And I remember I got so mad at him because he didn't want to go.
Oh,
so
he blamed it on you.
Yes. He told his friends that I wouldn't let him come.
That's what she said.
But, this is she did say that. But coming, like, now that I'm older, it's funny because at the time, at, like, being like, I was probably like 21 or something at the time. And I was thinking like, you know, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe you do that. Like throw me under the bus. Cause like, you know, like I was like, I'm a fucking cool girlfriend. Like I'm cool with you doing your thing.
Yeah.
Like, why are you going to put that on me? But now having some perspective on that situation, I got like upset with him. I like told all his friends, like, I didn't tell him that. I totally threw him under the bus, you know? Like, and at the time I seemed like it was so, but I wish I wish he had asked.
Yeah.
But I think now looking back on it, having some years, like I was like, I should have been like, you know, hey, if you don't want to go, why don't you just tell them I'm not letting you go, right? And I think that's like a maturity thing where like it was like I thought it was cool of me to not care, but then it's even cooler to be like,
care.
I can be the excuse. You know, sometimes I think that's important in relationships.
You
like
gotta hop on the grenade, yeah.
And even and not even just in relationships, but even in friendships, like, you know, sometimes just telling your friend like, hey, if you don't want to go to this thing, you can fully blame it on me. And
I feel like we've done that for each other sometimes.
100%.
Yeah, like,
I feel like that's
just tell
important.
them at your place. I just be like,
yeah, you gotta like. Sometimes someone's gonna take one for the team. So if the other person has like they have more expectations of them, like just blame it on me and like I'll take the fucking fallout for it. But I thought, but on the fight stories. So wait, when was this? Maybe
2011, 2012?
Yeah, no. That was. Oh no! I'm talking about. Oh, I'm telling you a new story. I was like, I'm like 2012. Jesus, like that was a long time ago. No, it was I was in fucking Alabama.
Oh, I know where you're going with this one. This is a good one, guys. Buckle up. Buckle up. You're in for a ride.
And I was in
maybe a year ago. It
was like 2 years ago, I think. And I played it was a club show in Alabama.
All right, guys, and we're back from our government mandated break.
We all had to go get tested for coronavirus, take our temperatures.
Yo, yeah. Anal probes.
Yeah. You'd like that, wouldn't you?
I mean, no.
You're like, no, I really want it.
No. Okay.
Oh my God.
All right, so, okay, cough. But, all right, so we're back to Crazy Dudes. So, Crazy Dudes.
Yeah. Well,
Alabama.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So my story got kind of a little cut off, but it was good because I kind of gathered my thoughts anyway. So I go to play this show in Alabama, and it was really fun. It's a huge college town, you know, fucking Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
And it was like raining or something. I don't really know anyone there, you know. It's like, luckily I brought Spencer with me, so I wasn't alone. And sorry, I gotta
into the elbow, guys.
Yeah, practice hygiene, y'all. So, oh my God.
She's got corona.
Every time I breathe, it like feels weird. Okay, oh my God, gross. Okay, everyone protect yourselves. Sanitize yourselves. Luckily you can't catch coronavirus from a podcast, so.
But I can.
Fun fact.
So yay me.
It's true. You can catch bronchitis from me, but.
Droplets. Keyword. Okay.
So anyway, yeah, so we get to Alabama, and we have like we flew into Atlanta.
Okay.
So we had to drive to fucking Tuscaloosa, you know?
Tuscaloosa.
My friend picked me up. He's the one who booked the show. He like picked us both up. The three of us drive. It was fun, but it was crazy because I mean, I'm from the South, but even driving through like the weeds of Alabama.
Oh yeah.
I was like, man, like I'm white and I'm kind of nervous. Like I didn't want to break down. Like I was like, man, like I mean, it's like
you're out there.
It
man.
was it was out there in the boondocks, but we got.
You said boondocks. I said boonies.
Boonies.
I said boonies.
I don't know why I said boondocks. I think that's boonies is a shorthand of boondocks.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Wait, this is so off of what we're talking about, but is the Boondock Saints like? I love that movie, but I never understood why they were called that.
I have no idea.
Have you seen it?
No.
Oh my God. Okay, we will not talk about it at all because I have to force watch it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite fucking movies. I'll literally watch it with you. It's so good. But anyway, sorry. Boondocks, whatever you call it. We finally get to Tuscaloosa and we have like a little fucking Airbnb or something. Like, okay, like, I had a show that night. We're like, we wake up in the day because we got there the day before and we're like, what do we do? We're like,
what's there to do in Tuscaloosa?
Yeah, I don't know. So we like start walking. We like try to go to some like, you know, there's some like a bunch of frat parties and stuff happening. So we kind of like walk around the whole little college area. But it started raining, so they were like shutting down all the parties. Like right when we got to everything, it was like we walked there and it was like started raining. Everything's gonna shut down, and it's like pouring fucking rain. So we like are like, fuck, we gotta get the fuck out of here. Sprint to like whatever the closest bar is, and we're just in there chilling, having a drink, and some fucking cute ass girls come up to us and like, oh my god, Carter Cruz. I was like, this is like the best part of my life. Like, you're so cute. Like, you know me? Like, can we be friends? Like, so like we meet up with a bunch of girls there, and like
Poor Spencer. Poor Spencer.
Oh, I know, he's just like dying over here, just inundated with hot sorority chicks. And these two girls, they're like big and little. They're so cute. Oh, we hung out with them like the whole time.
Not a kink thing, it's a sorority thing.
Yeah. And so they're so sweet, and like we ended up just like drinking with everyone at the bar. It's super fun. And going to the show, it's way more lit than I thought. Like, I thought that this was gonna be just like a regular like college bar kind of like gig, which are always fun, but like I didn't expect.
You didn't expect it, you know, like impactful. You're just like, another day, another dollar. We're gonna have fun.
It's cool, whatever. I'm happy. I got flown here to literally DJ and like party with people. I'm so content. But this place is madness. It is like a couple different stories, and it's just everything, and like people are just going nuts. And like we had actually gone there the night before to check it out, so I already kind of knew it was gonna be like crazy, but like because the DJs the night before were like, they're like local like college DJs, and they were like throwing down like straight dubstep at this fucking like college bar, and I'm like, this is epic. So I thought that was cool, and then we got there the next night, it's even more packed, which is crazy. And so like the DJ booth is kind of like, you know, where all the tables are like behind the DJ booth. So it's like the whole little VIP section's up there, and I'm like at the front of it DJing. And so for the most part, I'm just DJing, doing my shit. So funny. Like Spencer's just like pouring vodka in like college girls' mouths, and he's just like having the time.
The American dream. Consensually.
He was very happy. And so we're just like, you know, it's a great fucking set. I'm stoked. Everyone's having the best time. So, like, towards, like, the very end of my set, I was like, shit, I gotta fucking piss so bad. Like, I had been drinking all day. I was like, I have to pee more than anything. So I, like, the bathroom's, like, right off the little, like, you know, you kind of gotta go through the VIP section, but not through the crowd to get to the bathroom. So I'm like, okay, I think I can put on
a long song
and sprint to the bathroom, which, I don't know, like, maybe people don't know, but, like, that's actually, like, I don't have to deal with it too much because I usually like max do 2-hour sets. But I mean, people who do like even longer sets than that.
Carl Cox does 6-hour sets.
I mean, but also he said I always like, I want to see a chick DJ for 12 hours. That's what I want to see, because a guy can literally piss in a fucking water bottle. Like, we gotta literally like go to the bathroom. Like, I can't just squat down and piss. So I
but actually, you're kind of dope.
What?
It would actually be kind of dope.
You just like, hold up.
Hold up.
I just squat down.
Yeah, squat down a little bucket.
Just pee in the bucket, and then I just like, hold up. Stop the music. Yeah. You put the...
Whoa!
Hey! Dude, that
on
would
some Bella
actually
Delphine shit?
be fucking hilarious.
Yo, you sell the pee after? On some Bella Delphine shit? Yo.
Sell the pee. It's fucking horrifying.
There's a market. Yo, it's the internet.
There is a market, but I don't know if I want to be a part of it.
Yeah, no. No hate if you are.
Not that I'm judging, because I've been part of markets that other people would.
We don't kink shame here, but it's not for me.
Shame. Yeah, not for me. I think I would feel weird, like someone's gonna have like my like epithelial cells, and then they're gonna like make a voodoo doll out of me, and then they're gonna like...
Oh, I would just thought selling pee is weird.
I don't know. I don't like people having my like DNA and shit. It's kind of weird. But I'm sure DNA comes off when you pee, like, for your skin.
That's for sure. Yeah, that's
anyway.
Don't pee on your murder victims because you'll get caught. Don't.
Great hot tip.
Hot tip for the murderers in the audience.
But so we, you know, so I run to the bathroom, and it's kind of packed in the VIP section. Sprint down there. I push my way to the bathroom. I pee so fast, I'm just like squeezing it out of me. There's like, you know, I run out of the bathroom. I'm like, oh, I have like fucking like 30 seconds to get back to these decks and like mix out. I'm like freaking out. And as I'm walking up the steps to the VIP section, there's like a crazy commotion going on. Like, people are like shoving each other, yelling. It's like a fight, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm the DJ, and like, if I don't get there in 30 seconds, like,
they're just gonna cut off.
Yeah, everyone's like, yeah, we're at a club. And I'm like, you're not gonna be at a club in 30 seconds. Like, so I'm like trying to elbow my way through this. And this is like my life as someone who doesn't have like, if you're like a big DJ and you have like security, I mean, even people who aren't as big as me, I think maybe put more like value on that. And so they actually have like security people, and like certain clubs obviously would be really good, and they'll have someone who will take you there and bring you back. But since this was kind of unplanned, and I just like party, I didn't think I had to pay. Like, I mean, I pay. I don't know why that came. Pee.
Yeah.
I cannot speak. But I didn't think I would have to pee in this set, so I didn't like plan for it. So like, you know, other people have people like escorting them, but I'm just like literally alone. I just look like a regular girl at the club, you know. Like I'm just like. But really, I'm like,
you don't have your headphones,
like
so
three.
Yeah.
Don't have the headphones. They don't know. You got 3 stories of a club just going off to this music, and I'm like, I need to get back there immediately. And I'm like, what is going on? People, I'm being shoved. I get shoved aside, and this dude comes out of nowhere. There's blood all over his face. I'm like, what the fuck? Keep in mind, I've been drinking all day, so I'm already like, what the
fuck's going on? Yeah.
And this dude has blood all over his face. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? They're like kicking people out. Luckily, I did get back to the deck, so I managed to get out of the song. Cool. We were all good. But I find out that during my fucking set, a dude bit another dude's ear off.
What?
Literally.
Mike Tyson did. Mike
Tyson did. He ripped it off in the middle of the fucking club, and this was happening literally while I was peeing. So I missed the ear getting ripped off, which I don't know if I'm like disappointed about that or not. And I never found out like what happened after that. Like, is the guy okay?
Yeah.
Because I don't know, did his whole ear come off, or was it just the top part?
So how'd you find out that it was an ear chewed off?
Honestly, I think when I got back up to the booth, because I was like, I saw this guy with blood, I saw people getting kicked out, it was this whole commotion. Get back up to the booth, and I think probably Spencer told me, because he was like more aware of what was going on. Like, I don't even remember how I, like, found this out, but I was like, what the fuck? Because, like, I'm like, is this guy okay? And if you're out there...
Yeah, we'd love... Can you please reach out? We'd
hit
love
us
to
up.
hear from you.
I would fucking interview the fuck out of you. It'll be great.
Either the ear chewer or the ear
yeah, either
loser.
One. Like, if you're the ear... Because I also wonder... Because as I was saying earlier, I think this brings us back to our main point. It's like, you know, guys love to fight and stuff when they're drunk, and, like... You know, so I've seen a lot of that, but most of it is pretty harmless.
It's more of a just like flapping your feathers kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, like I'm more man than you.
Yeah.
You know, and like I get that, and like, yeah, do whatever. As long as you're not endangering people's lives. But like, but I think partially too, when you put alcohol into the situation, it becomes more dangerous. But I just like, I'm like, what? I need to know what the story was that a guy was like.
Had they never met? Was there previous beef?
Right.
Like,
because the thing is a club, and this was in the VIP section, so it wasn't like some 2 random people where someone bumped into someone. Yeah. Like, they were all at tables, so it's like, there has to be some history there.
So do we want to call this he got Mike Tyson, or he got Van Gogh?
Ooh. Didn't Van Gogh cut off his own ear, though?
Yeah, but it's a ear...
Right, like, did he bring it on himself?
Van Gogh cut off his ear and mailed it to a lover.
Yeah.
So, crazy.
Or... Maybe the dude cut off his ear to like impress a girl.
We don't know. So that's why if you are this person from Alabama,
Tuscaloosa, like 2 years ago, let me know if you're even if you know the people. I need to know the story. I need to know what entices someone to look at someone and like, just bite their fucking ear. Gone. I mean, like, I respect it. I'm not saying maybe it was fully deserved. I don't know. And I also want to know, is that guy okay? Because I hope he is. Yeah. I hope that no one got, like, fully injured.
Maybe, devil's advocate, maybe it was two dudes that are into dudes, and they were kissing and nibbling on each other's ear, and then someone was like, hey, there's a gay dude over there. He's like, I'm not gay, I'm fighting him, and just bit his ear off.
To make a point?
Yeah, it's like, I'm not gay, I'm biting his ear off.
Because they're in fucking Alabama and they're, like, terrified.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I was going to say, but probably also, like, no one's, like...
Disguising your masculinity.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's, like, that, like, comfortable there, which is sad, but...
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with that, but that's what I kind of wanted to just talk about how, you know, like, because we talked about crazy girls, and I just wanted to kind of like give the story of like crazy
there's two
guys.
sides. There's just as many crazy girls as there is crazy dudes.
But, you know, I think like the crazy girl story that you told was like, you know, obviously it's crazy to like bum rush someone's car and put your tongue on the window, especially in light of coronavirus. Like,
this is 20.
Obviously it's years ago, but just saying. Like, if you did that now, it's kind of crazy. But you know what? It's also pretty fun. Like, no one's mad. Like, you're like a guy DJ. I mean, even me. Yeah. Like, if I left a gig
Hordes
and
of
girls ran up
at themselves
and stuck their tongue on my fucking car, I would be ecstatic.
You'd be like, yo, they love me.
Yeah, I mean, it might cause some logistical problems or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's like all in good love.
Yeah, diehard fans.
And it's like, I feel like a lot of like, that's like crazy. It's like crazy as in the sense of like, I don't know, I don't think I would ever do it. I have waited outside of a tour bus for like 30 minutes to meet someone, but I didn't lick it. But it's also not bad, but biting off someone's ear. But what's the craziest part about it is that this didn't like stop the party. Like, it literally, they just kicked the guys out that like, I'm assuming.
Like it was a regular thing.
Assuming the guy who got his ear bit off and the ear biter both got kicked out, but I don't know. Maybe it was only one of them. I saw people, like, because like I said, I was running through the ear biting situation to get to the decks. So I don't really know. All I saw was like blood everywhere and people getting dragged out, but I do not know like who was actually kicked out. But like, that's arguably like a little bit more crazy because it impacts people.
Yeah, you got to think that, you know of that because that happened in the DJ booth. How many of these things have happened outside of the DJ booth that we have no idea about?
You have no idea.
Is this like, a thing? Like someone's like, oh yeah, dude, like this happens all the time in GA. People bite each other's ears off. Like,
yeah, is this a common thing? Yeah. I would love to hear that. Is that like, have you ever seen? Because I've only like, it's a Mike Tyson thing. Like everyone knows that. Yeah. And then it was this thing for me, and that's like the only 2 times I've ever heard of someone like biting someone's ear.
Yeah. So if you guys have any, I mean, it doesn't have to be ear biting. It could be finger biting, you know, extremity biting, any sort of weird things that have gone down.
Honestly, any kind of biting between dudes, I want to know about. It's kind of hot to me. Like, I mean, like, you know, just like, it's like, I mean, the ear biting is a little bit more crazy, but I mean, just like, I'm just thinking about like if 2 guys are fighting and some guy just like bites the other guy, I'm like, ooh, that's kind of hot.
Like, have you seen that video? It was a meme that was going around. It wasn't a meme. It was a video that was going around Vine back in the day. And it was like at a high school. It was like at a high school, and like 2 guys get up to fight. Like they're in, like it's like cafeteria during lunch, and everyone's like fight, and they just hear like the highest pitched dude voice from the back, suck his dick, and everyone's just like, what? And everything just diffuses. And I was like, yo, that guy saved a life.
Saved a life. And it was actually one of my, like, I love to do that. When dudes start getting to, like, oh, I'm going to fight this guy. I'm like, oh, you want to make out with him?
Whoa.
You want to, like, lick his little butthole? And then dudes are like, what the fuck? No. And then they don't even want to go near that guy. And I'm like, situation diffused. You're welcome, world. So, yeah.
We need you for coronavirus. We need you to diffuse coronavirus.
But coronavirus is just pushing us apart. Gilly and I just like, we elbow bumped when we saw each other.
Then we cough into our elbows, so we're kind of...
Yeah, I cough on this side. I didn't...
it's a cough guard.
I cough on the inner side and bump on the outer side.
Oh, I bump on the inner side.
Like that? Wait, is this your weenus?
Yeah, this is the weenus.
So we bump weenuses.
We bump weenuses. Bumpin' Weenuses, new podcast coming out next week.
So I guess that's the new thing for 2020. We don't shake hands, we bump weenuses.
Yo, this is going up on Twitter right now. Go like and subscribe and retweet.
Yeah, please.
All right, guys. Thank you for another episode of TAOC.
Rate us on Apple Podcasts. I don't know.
If we haven't died as a society by next week, we'll have another one out.
Yeah, when you're all quarantined, you can listen to us talk about dumb bullshit. Because since we're both fucked and we have nothing to do, I guess we'll be recording more of these.
Yeah, so let us know how you guys are dealing with the quarantine. Let us know about crazy extremity biting stories and anything else we might have missed. Let us know.
I need to know biting stories.
Yeah.
I need to know them.
Dude on dude biting stories, please let us know. All right, thanks, guys. It's been another episode. Stay alive.
Pew, pew, pew.